Here, let me start over again. And yes, these are cheap fairy lights in my cheap motel room that I'm living in. Uh, and you know what? I was so ungrateful. But after spending a weekend in county jail, I was like, yeah, this room is ugly, but I'm goddamn grateful for it. 'Cause sleeping on a mat the size of a maxi pad on a concrete slab, not for me. Okay, so these two cards, see how and I have to watch things on closed captioning. There we go. Let me take off those words because they have nothing to do with anything here. And yeah, this is somebody else's reading I'm posting on. But for me, this is like, I have a tattoo very similar to this. I couldn't get it to freeze in like a further frame, but it exactly mirrors this. There's somebody, minding their own business in a peaceful zone of the self. And there is somebody just constantly watching over this other person and trying to, in essence, set fire to whatever this person tries to do. This person, I mean, could be me, could be anybody that identifies with these readings. But this is someone who is minding their own business. And I identify with this reading because I saw the thumbnail and I have a tattoo very similar to that. And, okay, just like whenever I was a little girl, every time I saw a story with someone who had red hair, oh, it's a story about me, right? I highly identify with my red hair. So, normally I agree with this reader, but one thing I notice about tarot readers is that they will stick to a narrative that is very similar to their own life. I have yet to watch a tarot reader who does not overimpose their own situations onto readings. Like, I can tell exactly what's going on in a reader's life based on their readings. And, that's why calling something a general collective reading is kind of a misnomer. So, this is about somebody trying to set fire to anything someone else tries to do. And see how they are using an omnipotent point of view to observe going on in their life. But see, I have this saying, whenever you're doing a reading, you need to be like an owl and get to a higher vantage point so you can look down as a third person would to observe what's going on in a situation, or to better understand problems that you are having within your own life, because you can't control anything anybody else does. The only thing you control is your reactions to what happens in your life. And by keeping an omnipotent point of view, by taking your ego and placing it on that tree branch like an owl perches on a tree, so that you can look down in a more third person point of view. Because whenever you see things from a third person point of view, instead of through your own feelings, or it's just, there are two ways you can handle things. One is by trying to control everything around you and setting fire to that which threatens you, or you can look down upon it and take your ego out of it and better handle problems that are going to come up in your life. So where, the cheating scandal, or why you would think someone is, I don't know. I'm just, I just read the cards different than everyone else does, but I lack the editorial skills, or like just figuring out how to get a screenshot. And then whenever I turn on a camera, like, what I thought I was going to say ends up not coming out. Like, because I didn't mean it as a criticism towards this tarot reader. It's just, a lot of times I see combinations coming up in readings that I also get the same cards, which in itself is a mathematical impossibility that the same combinations will come up. I mean, gamblers know this. The house always wins with that kind of logic. So the fact that I'm getting the same combos with cards, I just haven't been posting them. I don't know. I kind of wish I had never started watching YouTube readings, because whenever I read cards, I don't get these complicated storylines with he said, she said, and they read out like soap operas. And whenever you stop seeing things as a soap opera where you're the victim, where you're always the one, you're always the main character, your readings are more spiritual. It's by adding the mundane aspects of the Jerry Springer existence of human beings cheapens what tarot reading is actually made for, because you cannot read other people's storylines. They don't read out like that. Metatron and Sandalphon are like those annoying Buddhist monks that talk like Confucius. They actually do. Because when you stop seeing things as so-and-so did this to me, like, yeah, my mom has been smearing my name behind my back all this time, but you know what? The only people that believe her are the people in her family unit, and they're all dysfunctional. So what do I care what a group of dysfunctional people believe? Even whenever you show them receipts, you show them video, you show them police reports, you show them a CPS report, you show every other aspect. Like, no, you actually had bed bugs, and she had to get the state to pay for it. Apparently she told her family I was on meth, and apparently only thought that I had bed bugs. But, like, bitch, why would the state pay for the bed bug removal? Like, like, it's absurd. But yeah, the only way I can keep composure is to look down upon this situation in dispassionate terms. Realize that the people who are gathering or believing her or excluding me and refusing to help me based off of some rumors that they heard, like, it is irritating. And I could become like this and just set fire to that fucking house and that piece of shit property next door that's abandoned and is a tinderbox waiting to be struck by lightning. But whatever. I don't want to get another arson charge. It'll be 10 years. So, you got to keep an omnipotent point of view on everything, because it's bad enough you're in a situation, but the only time you look messy is if you over-personalize shit. Like, I don't have any, like, I don't know, I watch tarot readings, like, on mute so that I can just interpret the cards myself, because I find a lot more if I don't listen to other people's interpretations of what I see in the cards, because this reads out like a storybook. Yeah, while I'm trying to, like, meditate, or while I'm trying to, because dealing with my mother, like, I can also see this if it's from, this is why you can't read. This is my mother over here. She has been behind my back while I've been trying to improve, while I've been trying to heal, while I've been trying to, like, overcome my trauma and my secret shame within myself. I've had my mother behind my back, like, discrediting everything I've said, and it's inevitable. Like, people are going to see what I said or interpret it as correct, but I'm never going to hear an apology. They're just going to say, I don't want to get involved. This sounds messy. And then they leave. That's how you know that they see what you mean, and they see your receipts. They watched your video, and they see the truth. But, that's whenever they decide, I don't want to get involved. This sounds messy. Or people say, I won't judge you on your past, Morna. And I'm like, what was my past? Like, And then they won't even explain that. That's how you know you're dealing with people who are just petty. I mean, they're dark. You cannot save that which has gone to the dark side. It's not going to happen. You can't save those that don't want to be saved. Nay, if you try to, like, if you yourself are drowning and you try to save someone else, that person will use you as a boy, as a floaty, right? And they will drown you in an effort to save themselves. So, yeah, I don't know what the point of this was, but I see something completely different. I just see a lot of mirroring happening here. Or someone that is, I think she said this is an illusionist. I don't know. Like, I've completely, and it's just a shame that, like, the message of these two cards together are being completely skipped over.